There we go. Hi, good evening. This is Michele Pitto. I'm a National Marketing Director with the Juice Plus Company, and we're really excited that you joined us on the call tonight. This is all about taking healthy back because we're fighting for a new normal. And what do I mean by that? Well, the statistics that are going on in our country are pretty staggering. I think pretty much all throughout the world. In fact, Michele is going to put the slide up here for me in a second. I just know.
Managing participants.
So and this is not funny, by the way. Oh, and that is the fact that 750,000 people die every year of heart disease. It's still the number one cause of death in our country. I know everybody on the call here tonight is touched by one of these things that we see. Over 600,000 people die of cancer every year, and you see that's quickly catching up with heart disease. 1 in 3 women, 1 in 2 men. I mean, 1 in 2, 50%. That was a staggering number for me to see that. Men that will have cancer in his or her lifetime. And Dr. Katz, head of preventative medicine at Yale, says our children are expected to have a shorter lifespan than their parents. More than 29 million Americans in the U.S. have diabetes, and there's so many million that are pre-diabetic and haven't even been diagnosed. So that's the normal today, and we want to change that. And what we're here to talk about is, 3 of us are going to share our stories and how Juice Plus has been really a catalyst in our health. And what I love about this slide is it shows that Juice Plus is the macro and micronutrition. And when you look at what we have here is the trio of Juice Plus, which is fruits and vegetables that have been vine ripened, juiced, and then dried at low temperatures to ensure that the nutrition was still intact. And then the complete protein powder, which all of these are real food. And what's great about that is that means it's safe for anybody, even a pregnant woman who can't eat everything out there, right? Can eat Juice Plus and the complete. And when you take a look at this is 45 different plant foods, completely different plant foods going into your body every day when you're consuming this. And I know even the people that say that they do a really good job eating fruits and veg, maybe you've got 5 different vegetables or 5 different fruits that you find that you buy over and over again. But the power of fruits and vegetables is in that color of the spectrum, right? So once again, we'll talk a little bit more about NSF certification, but it's been tested 6 times. And if you can go back, Michele. She's killing me tonight here. Never. No, go back one more. No, one more. Back to the Juice Plus picture. There we go. Never one. That just goes to show you just don't have to be perfect to do this, right? Never one recall in 23 years. This was so impressive to me. The Children's Health Study, where children between the ages of 4 and a full-time undergrad college student can actually get this Juice Plus in their bodies for free. Talk to the person that invited you on the call. And we also have this incredible Shred 10 program that isn't about shredding pounds, although many people often do. What happens when we, make healthier choices. So now go ahead, Michele. So I love this because this shows you, this was what really impressed me when I first heard about Juice Plus over 13 years ago now, about 13 years ago. I thought it was a brilliant idea, a way to get more fruits and veg in my family. But I was skeptical that after man did whatever man would do to it, that it still wouldn't have the same vitality as eating those fruits and veg. And what I found out was that I was so wrong. And it was because of this research. Over 30 peer-reviewed, third-party published studies from places that you've actually heard of, and we'll show you some of those later on here this evening. But this is what we know is going to happen to people that eat Juice Plus, and we know this because of the research. It's going to improve cardiovascular wellness. It's going to support and strengthen the immune system, and that's important whether you've got the common cold or something as serious as cancer, right? Improving gum health, reducing inflammation. I think we've all heard that the root cause of all disease is inflammation, right? So here we have something we know that reduces that, protects your DNA. Healthy DNA is what keeps cancer at bay, and healthier skin. So if you're not concerned, obviously, about some of these other systems in your body, to look better and have vibrant skin is really important. Also, insulin improves insulin resistance, reduces abdominal fat, which, yeah, who doesn't want that? Improve quality of life, and this was in cancer patients, and improve pulmonary function, lung health. So this is really backed by science. We can say this because of the science. So just a little bit more about the Complete. I talked about that earlier. Once again, safe for people of all ages, low glycemic. So even diabetics do well with the Complete. Low fat, real food, guys, things on the label that are good for you. Lots of fiber, in each serving, like 8 grams of fiber, and yet the average American eats maybe 5 a day. So gut health is so important. And then what I love is that we only have a couple of products. You can count them on one hand. We talked about the capsules. We've talked about the Complete. And the next slide should show us the Tower Garden. Yes, it is. And a lot of you guys know Kim Trilovich there in the picture. This is somebody we really know. This is her Tower Garden. It's beautiful. And I was never a gardener. Just absolutely had no interest in it for a lot of these reasons: the dirt, the digging, the weeding, and Michele's favorite, the snakes. But this is the future. And I could spend a half an hour talking about the Tower Garden, and this is from the person that's not a gardener, but I won't, I promise. But you know what? 90% less water, 90% less space. So people can be growing their own produce even on their own balcony of a high-rise condo, or like they're doing in a lot of restaurants in Manhattan. They're growing the food for the restaurants. So this is incredible technology. It's so affordable, and it pays for itself. So these are the products that we have. So a new slide. The greatest wealth is health. And this is so true. And I love this because my journey, I told you, started 13 years ago with Juice Plus, but really it was about 20 years ago, right before my kids were born, that I had a friend lose her 3-year-old to cancer. And that had such a huge impact on me that when I had my own children and I heard about Juice Plus, they were about 6 and 7. Although we were really healthy, it made so much sense because I was one of those moms with 2 boys that made them wear their helmets because I knew it would minimize risk. It wouldn't guarantee their safety 100% when they were on the skateboard or the bike, but it would minimize risk. And I really saw Juice Plus the same way. Now, in that time, all those years my kids were on it, oh my gosh, we didn't see antibiotics and sickness. And for me, I had seasonal allergies. I never thought that would go away. But about a year into taking Juice Plus, no more prescription or over-the-counter meds. And that's been in well over 10 years. And yet I'm that much older. My kids also incredible skin through this process, those adolescent years. And now that they're a freshman and sophomore in college, they're still being able to reap the benefits, which they're terrible eaters in college, the food that they get, and kids get sick right and left. So such peace of mind for this mama, which is probably how I started really sharing it with other people, because I couldn't keep that to myself, even though my background was in corporate America for 20 some years. I felt compelled to share this with other people. And that's pretty much kind of what happened for me. So what I'm going to do here now is we've got 2 great speakers that are going to share their stories with you. And the first one that I want to invite on is Mark Petersen. Thank you, Mark. I know that you were overly excited to be on the camera tonight, so thank you for sharing with us.
This is all new to me, this technology thing.
I know, right?
I know it's a little unnerving, actually. My Juice Plus story is somewhat coincides with Michele's. We were introduced from a pharmacy friend of hers. She had kind of explained to me what it was. I was skeptical, didn't didn't know quite what it was or what the company was about. But it made sense. It was nutrition. It was the studies that she had shown me right away made sense. It wasn't expensive, so it was like, well, yeah, that's fine. You know, $50 to become a rep, that's kind of a no-brainer. We went ahead and did it, and I was still skeptical, but yet I was seeing some of the results myself. I had rodeoed for quite a few years and had a lot of inflammation, a lot of bumps and bruises that were coming back to haunt me as I get older. I'd also had a cannon accident in 2013 where I broke both bones in my leg, severed the nerve and the artery, and was still healing from that at the time we got on this. And it really helped. I could tell right away that, you know, within a week or so of taking it, that I could see the pain or the discomfort I was having with especially the inflammation and the circulation was diminished. I mean, it was almost gone. And then when I wouldn't take it, I would forget for a day or two. I could tell it was back, and then it would. So that was a huge, you know, smack right upside the head for me. It was kind of like, well, I mean, it's obvious this is working and it's doing its job. We have 4 little kids that the one wouldn't touch anything green, and now he asks for broccoli or asks for salads when we go to Runza or anywhere else. He's, I mean, it's completely changed his palate. No doctor visits in 2 years since we've been on it. No antibiotics. I used to be one of those guys that I'd get up in the morning and I was headed out the door with a Pepsi in my hand and had 3 or 4 during the day. And I just all of a sudden didn't just realized I hadn't had one in a few weeks and didn't know why I wasn't craving it. Tried one, couldn't hardly stand the taste of it. It just tasted like syrup, sugar, you know. I mean, it just changes the way I looked at food and the way we looked at our family as far as health. But I don't know what else. Oh yeah, we got a kid that definitely has my ADD. She got that from me, so we saw a huge change in her just being able to focus and pay attention for longer periods of time. Before you could sit down with her and I mean, it was seconds, maybe a minute, that she could pay attention to something without getting distracted. And then we were starting to see, you know, even notes from the teachers that they were seeing a change in her at school. So
So it sounds like you guys have really seen that research that I talked about in the previous slide lived out. I mean, the reduction in the inflammation from your cannon accident, the quality of life in the taste changing that you're seeing, the improvement in immune function. And then I'm not sure where the focus is, the focusing stuff that you noticed. What is it?
Inflammation, for sure.
Oh, is that inflammation also?
Yep.
We can take that from the pharmacist here on the call, so that's good to know. But anyway, so thank you for sharing that, Mark. And Jaci Jones, I'm really excited to hear your story. I know you're a nurse, so I know you're going to tell us all about your own journey here. So thank you for being on.
Thank you. I have 3 kiddos. I'm married. I live outside Hastings. I am a registered nurse. I worked as a pediatric nurse for 7 years, just part-time. And about 1.5 years ago, I decided to quit and stay home full-time. And, you know, I thought that I would get out of nursing at that point, but I didn't, because my kids were constantly sick. we were at the doctor's, they still knew me by name because we were there multiple times a week. My oldest right now, Tenley, she's 5. She's in kindergarten. And last year was her first year of preschool. She was sick 15 times in 9 months. We were constantly on antibiotics, multiple ear infections. Finally, at the end of the school year, we found out she has a complement deficiency, which your complement system complements your immune system, and hers wasn't working correctly. So germs and her do not mix. I actually had my family practice doctor say to me, you know, a lot of those kids have to be homeschooled. And I knew that that just wasn't something we were wanting to do because she loves school so much. So last year during the preschool year, my son Creed was 3 and he was diagnosed with asthma. He was getting all of the germs Tenley was bringing home. And he was sick for months on end. He was sick for 2 months straight. He would go from one thing to another. And on steroids 5 times. When he gets an asthma attack, he gets bad fast. Like you put him down for a nap thinking he's not even sick, and he'll wake up retracting, not breathing barely at all, and he just turns quickly. And so my other daughter, Aurora, she's 16 months old. She was a newborn last year. And at 3 weeks of age, she was in the ER because she was getting all of the kids' germs and having trouble breathing. And it was seriously 9 months of just sickness. She was getting ear infections nonstop. She had 10. We did tubes. And even with tubes, we were doing drops in her ear, antibiotic drops in her ears every 2 weeks because she was still getting ear infections. So end of October, my son Creed had a bad asthma exacerbation that about landed him in the hospital. And I think had I not been a nurse, he probably would have been there. I think they let me keep him home. But we had been at the doctor 5 times in 10 days. And by the grace of God, Kelly reached out to me and sent me a message about Juice Plus and showed me how much good research was behind it. And as a nurse, I wasn't going to buy into anything unless there was research behind it. So I looked through all the information, talked about it with my husband, and he was kind of on the fence about it, a little skeptical. But after I showed him the numbers, like if this keeps us out of the doctor's office, we're going to save money doing this because we spent well over $10,000 in medical bills last year, and Juice Plus is far, far, far less expensive than that. Plus you get healthy kids from it. So ever since we started, which would be the beginning of November, we have not been sick. We still are not to that 80-day mark where your T and B cells balance each other so that your immune system is fully functioning. We're not there yet. We've gotten a cough here and there, and that's all it ends up being, is a cough for a day or two, and it goes away all on its own. And Creed especially, he would get a cough last year, and it would go straight to his lungs. His oxygen would drop, his lungs would sound terrible. Thank goodness, being a nurse, I can monitor all that at home, but he would just get so sick. About a month into Juice Plus, he got a small cough, and instantly I just got scared to death because I knew what was coming, or I thought I knew what was coming, and nothing happened. His lungs sounded amazing. His oxygen never dropped, and it was a day or two of a cough, or a tiny cough, like maybe twice a day, and he was over it. Aurora, she has not had an ear infection since we started, and she has gotten 6 teeth as of recent, still working on another, and before she would have for sure had an ear infection. As for myself, kind of going through, we were moving at the time, like in September we moved. I had been dealing with sick kids for so long and just exhausted, and I was having terrible brain fog. My energy was horrible. And as soon as I started Juice Plus, my mom said to me, Jaci, you seem so much more like yourself. And I did. I was remembering things. There was one day I had to sit down with a piece of paper because I was remembering so much I had to write it down. And that was amazing to me. My husband, he forgets everything. Like I kind of figured most men do, but he was remembering things better and feeling better. And I don't know, we've just we have seen so many positive things from starting Juice Plus. And I just, as a peds nurse and as a mom, I just want to share that with people. I don't want families to have to suffer like we did before. And that's what this is all about to me now. And to see my kids healthy on top of it is just the icing on the cake.
I know, what a blessing, because you were spending your time not working as a nurse,
Right.
at home as a nurse, and not getting paid for it. So, and it sounds like you see Juice Plus with a big red bow on it. So,
Oh yeah.
I know that a lot of people like myself always want to know a little bit more about the company behind Juice Plus, because, you know, and that would be something that I would love Mark to touch on. So we're just going to talk for a few more minutes on a little bit more about the company. But Mark, I would love you to just touch on, just real quickly, what going to a conference and learning about the company, because that was kind of your thing with Michele, right? That, you know, something. I'll let you tell the story better than I can.
About me being skeptical?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not want to tie myself or us to a company that I didn't know anything about. I was extremely skeptical, but I chose to be supportive, and I went ahead and went to the first conference with her after we started, and I thought, you know what, I'll give it a try. I'm going to give it I'll give it this conference and see what happens. After about the second day of conference, I was completely sold after hearing Jay Martin lay the company out for everybody to see. And, you know, seeing a CEO, well, first of all, the camaraderie of everybody there, that's, you know, all, you know, there's all these teams and everything else, but everybody's there for the same goal, the same mission, the same thing. They may not be on your team, but they're willing to help you out with whatever. And but then to see Jay Martin get up on the stage and he's just lays the company out just for everybody to see where their profits are going, where, you know, what charities they're supporting, what their mission is, where the company's headed, that it's your company. It pretty much sold me on it. I left skeptical, came home. Yeah, I came home a team member. I came home a rep myself. So, but yeah, it's been interesting to see how, you know, a business like this, especially network marketing or anything like it, you know, people have such a kind of a stigma or a distaste for it. You know, the first thing they hear, and it automatically shuts them off to it.
Well, and that's a great segue for the elephant in the room that we always like to address, that thing kind of known that's shaped like a pyramid. I know I was also, like you, Mark, extremely skeptical, you know, coming from the corporate background, and I thought it was one of those things. I didn't want to have any part of it. And what I came to learn was that pyramids are illegal, and our company's been around 46 years, Juice Plus 23, all on its own. But really where I was in corporate America was more like the pyramid, right? With the CEO up here and then the workers down at the bottom. And very rarely was the workers down at the bottom going to have the opportunity ever to make it to the top of the company. Very, very rarely, where our company is more of the inverted pyramid, where everybody comes in at the same level, has the same opportunity, whether, like in your case, working in farming, which you were able to leave now, and be in ranching, which is where your heart is, because of you guys going and seeing this opportunity. And Michele, as a pharmacist, being able to take and grow her business to national marketing director, allowing you guys to have benefits and stuff. And we'll talk about real quickly what that looks like. But the community is, like you said, something that kind of sets it apart. And I know, Jaci, you've had a little bit of experience with the community, and obviously as a nurse, I know you don't consider yourself a salesperson, but you're a mom that's seen what this has done for your children. And so wanting to share it with others. How is that community been for you?
It's been really nice. We had a salad and a jar event at my house Saturday, and my whole upline was there. Everybody's been really helpful and willing to help me and reach out to me and, invite me over for a play date at Michele's house, and just been very friendly. And if I've ever had questions, I've never felt like I can't ask. Michele has gone above and beyond to help, talk to other people that I had been talking to about Juice Plus to kind of give them more information. And I think have grown to become friends with these girls that I haven't really known all that long, but they have been, so wonderful to me. So that's been really fun.
Yeah, it's really great that we can be self-employed and have all the benefits of being self-employed, but yet not being an island. We're in a community of these amazing like-minded people. And as a national marketing director with our company, we get the thing that sets us apart from any other company I've ever seen out there is that, like I said, the benefits of being self-employed, but yet we get a $60,000, $70,000 benefits package that's comprehensive medical, vision, dental, life insurance, disability, long-term care, prescription drug, the family tuition, which I'm taking advantage of with 2 kids in college now, an expense allowance, and a holiday bonus. And you just don't see that out there. And so a lot of people want to know, for $50, a lot of us did get started because we wanted to save money on our own family's product. But more than that, we wanted to share this with other people. It was instinctive for us to do that. And we all started out, like I said, that inverted pyramid at the same place. But in this situation, this is how we start people out to have success right away and get a paycheck right away. So if somebody gets their own Juice Plus ordered and maybe they share it with their mom and their sister, they hit our first commission level. They earn usually over $200. $100 of it's a bonus. And then I think most of us know at least 3 to 5 people right off the bat that also want to impact the health of other people and maybe make $300 to even $500 a month. I mean, certainly many of my colleagues are making 6 and even 7-figure incomes. But I think what we find is that most of us are initially only looking to make maybe $500. So whether you want to replace a full-time income or not, making $300 to $500 a month is really, really helpful for so many people. So in this situation, one of your friends, let's say, we've got Buddy here on the second line, also does what you just did. They share with maybe their mom and their brother. Now your buddy earns the couple $100s, right? Maybe you have another friend that wants to do what you and your buddy just did. But between you and at least your buddy here, you fill up those other 6 houses. This is a total of 12 houses that you see here. You could do this as quickly as you want, but you do this within 60 days. Now you're going to be promoted to our second commission level where you're going to earn a $250 bonus plus retail sales profit and commissions. And now you've given yourself a 60% raise from where you started. And that's permanent. We don't have quotas. We don't have inventory. And this is just a real quick screenshot of what that looks like. You can see up at the top, moving with the bonuses across the top. The SC level, the person at the highest in the white sweater jumping for joy. You just really help 2 or 3 people do what you just did in earning those bonuses. And now you're at our top commission level. Most people do this in 4 to 6 months. And while you're on track with doing this, you can add up you can see the bonuses over here. I won't go through them all. But what we see is in that 4 to 6 months, people are typically earning $1,500, $1,800 in bonuses. That does not include retail sales profit and commission. So this is really a huge blessing for people. And then the residual income piece of that is that when you're developing a customer base along that time frame of 25 to 40 people, that's where you're going to see that consistent $500, $700 a month income coming in. So just wrapping us up here, just going back over again, the longevity that I talked about, 23 years, the quality tested 6 times. Isn't it nice to know that what's in the bottle is on the label and that there's nothing in the bottle that's not on the label? That's basically what that NSF stands for, and that's not an easy certification to get. The simplicity, only a few products we have. The nutrition label, not a supplement label. Here in California, we don't even pay tax on Juice Plus because we don't pay tax on bananas and apples. Authenticity, you can see from our amazing speakers tonight that they're just real people doing these things that we're talking about here. And our company, gosh, the research speaks to the authenticity. The community is amazing. We have just a great time really sharing that mission, taking healthy back, and all these incredible universities partnering with us in this. So thank you guys for being on the call tonight. We're excited that you were able to join us, and thank you again for our amazing speakers. Appreciate you guys.